Hello, welcome to the land of Kakiak. My name is Laurel, and today is part 2 of my homeschool book set videos. So these are just book sets. It's not like they were specifically designed for homeschool, but I use them in our homeschool, and let's just get right into it. So different book sets I might use for different things. Let me share with you, the last video we focused a lot on kind of like bridge books, things that aren't too, the reading level isn't too high, that your kids couldn't read them on their own or without just minimal help. So we're moving up the ladder a little bit. This is Lightkeepers and 10 boys, and there's 5. So it's 10 boys who made a difference, 10 boys who used their talents, 10 boys who made history, 10 boys who didn't give in, 10 boys who changed the world. And they're all about the same length. They have a bunch of different sets, so they have these, specific to girls and stuff like that. But these are true stories. So let's see this first one. This is 10 Boys Who Changed the World. So we have Billy Graham, Brother Andrew, John Newton, George Muller, Nicky Cruz, William Carey, David Livingstone, Adoniram Judson, Eric Liddell, and Luis Palau. So there's a bunch of, they have a list of all the books in the series. They've got all these little sets. They've got 10 boys who use their talents, 10 girls who use their talents, 10 boys who didn't give in. So they have the girl counterpart to all of these as well. But I like that these are biographical, and I'll show you what the font and stuff looks like. This is always important to me, how it feels to look at it. I love these, and these are a quick read for the kids, and I don't know, I would say they could read this probably in 3rd grade. These are also great for read aloud times. P.S. Side note, if you would like to see me do some videos on morning baskets and what I put into my morning basket and how I decide what I'm putting in there, stuff like that, just leave me a comment, say morning basket. But I will also link to a recent morning basket video that I did in the description box. Okay, so this one, and of course I'll be linking everything you see today. These are the kind of things that they're not just, they give me things to think about, they stay with me too. Next up is the Magic Treehouse series. So I bought this whole series. I think it goes up to 31, but then I also have bought 33 and 35. I know I bought all of them that I possibly could. Plus there was a few extras that I bought. I know there was one about World War II and stuff, but they're probably scattered around the house. But these are on my shelf over here for the kids. I will link also to my planning an independent history curriculum for your kids and using living books. And this is a big part of that for me. So I would put this in 2nd grade. My middle son read all of these. Of course, we're year-round homeschoolers, so I feel we started these around the, middle or towards the end of 2nd grade. But he read them all, and he read them all over the summer as well. Just one, it probably took him about a week to read one. And they go through all periods of time, and there's a boy and a girl lead character, so I feel that's really helpful for, boys and girls both like to read it. Okay, I'm actually going to jump up a little bit in age group, just you'll see why. So on the Robinson curriculum reading list are a lot of Tom Swift books. And my oldest son, so he started reading these 5th and 6th grade, and he really liked them. So they were published originally, this doesn't give me the original date, but I swear it was the 20s or something. So you can actually buy these as 4 books in one. Someone has put those together, and I'll link to these. So I got volumes 1, 2, and 3. And these have great vocabulary in them. So people have put together compilation volumes of 4 books in one. I've got 3 of them, so that means I got 12 books right here. And I want to say I paid $14 or $15 when I bought them. And there's no pictures or anything, but this is what the print looks like. Nice and clean. I really don't like when I when I've tried to buy like an old book, like that, like a reprint, and it's really just like a scan, and it's like all of them. They didn't actually take the time to like reformat it and like type it up or whatever. I hate that, and it's like difficult to read. So I like when they do. I like them when they do this because I go for legibility. So that's like a little bit older, but because my older son would like those so much, I bought. Somebody has made these like younger versions of like these Tom Swift kind of spin-off books, and these are more recent. I got 8 of them, and those books are all about like technology and stuff at the time. And some of it, like the original Tom Swift's, it wasn't even invented yet, but it was like conceptualized in the books, and it actually was invented like later on, and people have credited Victor Appleton with being an inspiration for inventors. And I want to say Victor Appleton is a pen name. I want to say, is he the same guy who wrote the Rover Boy books? Anyways, it's a pen name. And so obviously these ones take place in modern times. And so it's not like the same Tom Swift. It's like, you know, down the line in his family or whatever. So these ones were great. I want to say William read these at the beginning of 3rd grade. So they're a little bit books getting a little bit longer. These ones look like this. The print looks like that. So nice and spaced. Makes it easy on the eyes to see. Yeah, so no illustrations, but very like action-packed. And if you like have a kid that likes technology and stuff, those are fun. Next set is The Secret of the Hidden Scrolls. So this is kind of a similar concept to the Magic Treehouse books, except that they are going back into biblical times, and they are witnessing like biblical events. And there's like the secret of the hidden scroll. So there's like a secret in each book that they are trying to put together the clues or whatever. At the end, they get like a little message. There's book 2, Race to the Ark. Just a fun way to help them remember, you know, Bible stories. But this one, it does have little illustrations in it. So again, this would be good, I think, to add to your history if you are wanting to cover some biblical history. This will help it come to life, you know, in an interesting way. It's filled with like all types of like biblical facts. Like in this one, like they ask, you know, what is a cubit? You know, the kids want to know. And they said, you know, they learned it's an ancient measurement. So funny, Noah's in the story. He says, who are you calling ancient? And it said, no, I'm only 600 years old. A cubit is about 16 inches, says Mary. So that means the ark is about 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet wide. And he asked, how do you know that? She said, I read it in a book titled Ancient Measurement. How do we measure up? I wonder if that's a real book. I bet you it is. So it was written by Mike Thomas, and he graduated from Liberty University, and he earned a bachelor's degree in Bible studies. He wrote these because he was looking for books for his own son to be able to read, and he couldn't find what he wanted, so he created this series, which I think is cool. Kind of like, I was like trying to explain to the kids the other day how Winnie the Pooh and A.A. Milne wrote those stories for his son. Okay, so there are 9 books in the series, and William loved these, couldn't put them down. I remember asking him if he wanted to take a break from these to read something else, and he was almost in tears. He did not want me to interrupt his reading of this. So highly recommended by William. Okay, the next set is The 5 Children and It. This is actually like a trilogy. We've only read the first one, 5 Children and It. I did this as a family read aloud. Everybody loved it. I also found on YouTube where like the BBC did, I think it was back in the 90s, like a little version of it. It's not exactly 100% true to the book, but after we would read, especially when I had, you know, my kindergartner gets done with his schoolwork a lot quicker, I would allow him to watch like an episode of that BBC after we'd finished his schoolwork for the day, and he loved it. So this one, so I really like the Scholastic Classic books because if you find them, they come with like reading questions at the end, which are fun to do as a family if you're doing these as read-alouds. So it's about a sand fairy. These 4 siblings move out to the country, and they find a sand fairy, And of course, it'll give them one wish a day, and then all the fun and disasters that come from that. E. Nesbitt, I think it's Edith is her name, her writing is just, I just enjoyed her voice, and, I enjoyed what the characters were saying. There's that one. And then the story, there's two more. We haven't read these yet, but the kids, I showed these, I think in my little haul video recently. My youngest especially wanted to read more about them because we'd looked up the things about the author, and we saw that she written other books, including The Story of the Amulet and The Phoenix and the Carpet. So these are those same 4 kids, and so the story is continuing. Yeah, so I thought I'd put those on there. Okay, so back on over to the Magic Treehouse family. So that author, Mary Pope Osborne, she wrote another set. It's like a step up from those, and it's called Merlin Missions. Anyways, it's continuing on. They also get like references to other literature in it too, like Christmas in Camelot. So like Camelot wasn't a real, historical place as far as we know. I think it's worthwhile for like social studies and stuff. And so these ones are a little bit longer. Her books do have illustrations. And they actually would, because the kids have a reading journal page. William did like to copy these pages off just on the printer, use the photocopy. And then he would like color them in and put them in his book with his little writing about it. And yeah, he really loves these. I do wish it came with a better box. It's one of those cheap boxes and it's like breaking. But there are 27 books. So again, I think a really good value for what you get as far as how many books and how big they are and everything. Oh, here's one I forgot to mention in my last video, and I was like really, really young readers, so I'm going to throw it in here. It's obviously the Frog and Toad collection. Anyways, yeah. The kids do enjoy these, so I thought I would just throw them in there. I like the color illustrations, of course. Very easy to read, very readable, legible. Okay, here's a set. It's actually really long. I only bought the first 10 books. Nancy Drew. I know it's I have all boys and it's a lead female character, but she is not she's feminine, but she's a very capable, she's a strong female lead character. And yeah, she was I wanted to be Nancy Drew when I was 8 or 9. I was obsessed. I swear this is a used set I found, but it was still in really good shape. I was like, I swear these are the exact same ones my mom bought me that they used to sell at Costco. I remember we'd go and get the next bunch. So right now we are reading the first one. Nancy Drew, it's like the mystery of the old clock or whatever. And I just read a chapter to them in the morning, and we are having tons of fun. Mysteries are really fun to read. I like to talk about foreshadowing. I like to read something that's clearly a foreshadowing. Then I'm like, dun, dun, dun. I am trying to teach them to look for those things and, to make inferences. I'm always asking them, what do you think is going to happen next? Or what do you think that means that, when a new piece of information comes in, that's obviously a clue, why is this important? So they're easy enough if you want to, as an adult, obviously, to go over that stuff. You'll pick up on it a lot easier than my 8-year-old does, but which makes it perfect for teaching. So, and they're very wholesome, they're just solving a mystery. There's no bad language in them. These ones do have the old illustrations. So this is by Carolyn Keene. I want to say these were written in the 50s, or she started writing them in the 50s. We even looked up her car and stuff, stuff like that. Okay. So I don't know if I'm going to read all of these to the kids, but I might just read them just to take a walk down memory lane, or see if they want to pick one up and insert it into their book list, they can. But yeah, definitely you could probably read these in high 3rd or 4th grade. Then we have these, the Murderous Maths. I think I've talked about them before, but since they're a set, I will talk about them again. So these are really all about different math concepts. Okay, so we have savage shapes. Do you feel lucky? I'm guessing that's statistics. Easy questions, evil answers, awesome arithmetrics, desperate measures, guaranteed to bend your brain, guaranteed to mash your mind, the key to the universe, the perfect sausage, and the Phantom X. So what one did? Everett has read, I think, arithmetrics ones, but I need to have him read this one next. I've just been kind of inserting them into his reading list here and there. But obviously, the boys love this kind of I feel like they're geared towards boys. But he thought they were funny. Like it's full of all types of puns, like you better shape up. It is written, yeah, I was pretty sure it was like this is like British English. You can tell how they call it because they call it maths. Yeah, it's published in the UK by Scholastic Limited. So it's kind of got that more of a British humor, which we like. This is the first page of the maths one, the secret vault. So there's a lot of pictures in it, a lot of figures. So I just think this is a really unique book set. Like I was looking for living math books, which and this is what I came up with. But if you have any living books that you could delegate to like the math subject, leave them in the comment box because those are hard to find. Okay, so we like this set. I do enjoy these Julia Rothman like anatomy something books. We've got nature, anatomy, food. This one is my favorite so far by far. Food anatomy, right? And she's an artist. So there's not real pictures in here. It's all her art, which I just going to use this as a spine. And I will also link to where there are activity books that have been made to go with these for activities, and notebooks that are great too. I don't know, for younger kids, I don't think you really need the designated pages, but I would recommend more of the activity books over the notebooking pages for younger kids. But like older kids, if you're having them do this in like middle school or something, the notebook would be great. Okay, so farm anatomy. I think I said before, this one didn't knock it out. This didn't spark joy for us, really. I did my best. Ocean anatomy, we enjoyed that one. I especially liked the activity book that was somebody made to complement this. Love it. And then this is a new one. We haven't done this one, wildlife anatomy. So this one is the curious lives and features of wild animals around the world, which, I mean, would be really fun. Kind of animal survey. Just a heads up on this author is not this is not Christian worldview at all. So but I will say, if you get the notebooks, the notebooking people were careful they didn't include anything about evolution or anything like that. So I noticed that came up definitely in my in the nature anatomy book. And they just, I've talked about it before, it's just my pet peeve when books just state things as fact, and things like that. So it's not that I don't teach evolution. I definitely teach my kids what that theory is. And we just teach more, I just feel like my kids have a wider education. So I do like those books though. And we use them for science. And I think these are great for, elementary, even in middle school. I think these are really great resource to use as a spine for your science and like nature studies. Okay, here's my last book set. It is along the same, kind of continuing on with what I was saying. These are the Answers books by Ken Ham and Bodie Hodge. And these are, it's kind of apologetics in the science lane. And so book 1 covers creation and evolution in the Bible. Yeah, they've got, so this one has 25 questions. They've got more, carrying on 30 questions. So there is 4 of those. And then I also picked up book 5, which is A Flood of Evidence, 40 Reasons Noah and the Ark Still Matter. I was just listening to a scientist talk about that yesterday, and why the age of the earth matters. It's an interesting discussion, right? My thinking has definitely evolved over time. No pun intended. Okay, let's go see. What does book 4 say? Okay, does the gospel depend on a young earth? Do plants and leaves die? Dragons, were they real? Peppered moths, evidence for evolution? Is evolutionary humanism the most blood-stained religion ever? Was Charles Darwin a Christian? Cavemen, really? Should there really be a battle between science and the Bible? What did the reformers believe about the age of the earth? What are some of the best evidences in science of a young creation? Have people always been brilliant, or were they originally dumb brutes? What about living fossils? What is the state of the canopy model? Are there transitional forms in the fossil record? Could the flood cataclysm deposit uniform sedimentary rock layers? Should we be concerned about climate change? What about creation, flood, and language division? How big is the universe? Could Noah's Ark have been made of wood? What about environmentalism? What about distant starlight models? What are the tactics of the new atheists? Were there any volcanoes, high mountains, and earthquakes before the flood? What about beneficial mutations? What about the Hebrew language in Genesis? The recapitulation of recapitulation. Does embryology prove evolution? Is speciation evidence for creation or evolution? Are genetically modified organisms wrong? What about design arguments like irreducible complexity? What about the origin of the solar system and the planets? Did Noah need oxygen tanks on the ark? The image of God and dear atheists, are you tired of it all? Okay, so my plan is to just start assigning these books starting in 8th grade, or to use them to read, or to use them as read-alouds. These will definitely get you thinking. Okay, that's all I had time to show again today. Again, I feel like I have more book sets, but I'll leave it here for now. And just point of order, I am taking next week off. So this is Sunday, and I am going to be taking this upcoming week off of school to do planning and even some video planning and stuff like that. So I'm doing my own school projects, some Etsy resource work that I wanted to get done. So this is a good time. If you have anything you'd like to see me do a video on, or to show you more in depth or anything like that, just leave me in the comment box, because this will be a good week for me to get it onto my planner and to start researching anything I need to research for you. Okay? Talk to you soon. Bye.